All right, so today we're going to be reading the next section and find out what do Claudia and Jamie do next. And before we do that, I'm going to teach you 3 new words again. So the first word for today is this word, and that word is suspicion. Repeat that word.
Suspicion.
Excellent. So I'm going to put it up here with our other words. Let me tell you what suspicion means to me. Suspicion is a feeling that you have when you are not sure about the truth of something, but you don't have any proof if it's true or untrue. So it's that feeling that you think something, but you're not quite sure about it. Okay? Listen to this sentence and we'll see how you could use that word. When Mrs. Mueller returned to school on Monday after being away on Friday, she found a mess on the floor. There were pencil shavings scattered all over the back corner of the room. She had a suspicion about who was responsible. So, Jake, what do you think Mrs. Mueller was thinking?
That somebody in her class did it. Like, she thinks that somebody in her class did it.
And what would give her a suspicion about who might have done it?
Like a person that usually a pencil sharpener.
Just someone that keeps a pencil sharpener in their desk. Yeah. That would be a good reason to be suspicious of them. How suspicious would you feel if you saw your friends whispering and pointing at you? Think about this. Would you, on like a scale of 1, not very suspicious, 2, sort of suspicious, and 3, very suspicious? How would you feel if you saw your friends whispering and pointing at you? Sequoia.
I'd be very suspicious.
So a 3?
Yeah.
Okay. How about if your older brother told you that aliens had landed on Earth? How suspicious would you be of that? Josh?
1.
Not very suspicious? You would believe him that was true? No? So then you would be very suspicious of that. Because suspicious is when you think that something is not quite what people tell you that it is, or that you're not sure about the truth of what they're saying. Okay? Correct? All right, the next word that we're going to learn is the word acquire. Repeat that word.
Acquire.
All right. Acquire, to me, that means when you get to acquire something is to gain ownership of that thing, to get it. You can acquire a thing like a dog or a game, or you can acquire an idea, like acquire a love for something, or acquire like soccer, or you could acquire a taste for something, like a food, or doing a particular thing. Hunter?
Didn't you acquire asking for help or something?
That would be inquire. Inquire means to ask for help, but acquire is when you get something. And I didn't want to just tell you get something, because that might, to me, sometimes when somebody says, did you get it? That means, did you understand it? So acquire is not really, when you get ownership of something. Listen to this example. Each morning, Mr. Adams read a book to his kindergarten class by one of his favorite authors. He hoped that by sharing his love for good books, his young students would acquire a love for reading too. So let's think about, what did Mr. Adams want his children to learn or to acquire? Hannah?
He wanted them, he wanted sort of to have a habit for them, so when they're older, they won't just pretend to read, but they'll actually read.
Mm-hmm. So he wanted them to get that feeling of books are really great. So let's make some choices. Would you rather acquire, and I need you to raise your hand, a taste for asparagus or a taste for kiwi fruit? Which would you rather acquire? Cray?
Kiwi fruit.
Kiwi fruit? Hayden?
Kiwi fruit.
Josh?
Kiwi fruit.
And Hunter?
Asparagus.
Asparagus. Tell us why you would rather acquire a taste for asparagus.
Because it's better for you.
Oh, you think it's better for you? How many people would rather acquire a taste for asparagus other than Hunter and AJ? And everybody else would rather acquire a taste for kiwi? Mm-hmm. They're kind of sweet. All right, how about a new book or a game for your Xbox? Raise your hands if you'd rather acquire a new book. All right, hands down, and raise your hands if you'd rather acquire a new game for your Xbox. Okay. All right, here's our last word. This word is mediocre. Repeat it after me.
Mediocre.
Great. Put that up on the board. And mediocre means to me when something is not a very good quality and it's not really special, we say it's just mediocre. Hayden, have you heard that word before?
Yeah, it's kind of like grade. Like it's kind of in the middle.
In the middle, yeah. It's not bad, but it's not real good either.
People can make it sound bad.
Exactly. Listen to this example. Karen had forgotten that her science project was due the next day. She spent all Thursday afternoon and into the night working on the project, but she just didn't have enough time. She knew that her teacher would not be happy with this mediocre project. So let's think about what would make Karen's project be mediocre in that example. Rafaela? What do you think?
It's not like if they were studying about volcanoes, like maybe the volcano wouldn't erupt or something, would just sit there.
And why would it be mediocre in that example that I gave you?
It wouldn't be very interesting, just a volcano there, like everyone's staring at it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Jake, what do you think?
It probably wouldn't be that good because she rushed through it and never gave any time to
Right.
Yeah.
That was what I was going for. That, Rafaela, you're right, that a mediocre project on volcanoes wouldn't erupt. It would just kind of sit there. But the reason is because she didn't put enough time into it. Hannah, do you want to add something?
She also waited to the last minute instead of just doing it day by day.
Yeah, doing a little bit at a time. So in the end, when she had to rush, it was just a so-so project. Right. Okay. We're going to play that thumbs up, thumbs down game again. We had fun with that yesterday. You're going to show me thumbs up if the example that I describe is something that could be or is mediocre. So this is a little tricky because usually when you think about mediocre, you want to put a thumbs down because it's not what we want. But you're listening to the example. If the example is mediocre, you'll show me thumbs up. If it's not mediocre, you'll show me thumbs down. Okay, let's do the first one together. Would it be mediocre if you got a 100 on a spelling test? Right, thumbs down, because that's not mediocre. That's perfect. Good job. All right, here's the next example. A homework assignment turned in with no heading and food stains on it. All right, thumbs up. That's an example of a mediocre homework. All right. How about a sports team that has a record of 4 wins and 11 losses? Is that mediocre or not mediocre? Yep, thumbs up. That's mediocre. They're just doing okay. They're not winning very much. All right, how about a paper that scores a 6 on the FCAT Writes? Would that be mediocre or not? Right, Sequoia, why is that not mediocre?
Because a 6 is really good.
That's a perfect score. Right. That's right. It's the best you can get. So that's not mediocre. Hayden?
Now I was going to say it's the best you can get to.
Yeah, that's right. All right. How about if your mom asked you to clean up your room and you put away the books on the bookshelf, but you left all your dirty clothes on the floor? Is that mediocre or not mediocre? Jake, how come that's mediocre?
Because then if you just put all the stuff on the shelf, then everything else will be on the floor and probably trick following the clothes and stuff.
You didn't do the whole job, right? You just did part of the job, so that would be a mediocre job of cleaning up your room. Good thinking. Okay, so let's review these 3 words, and then we're going to start reading.